So it. All right, well, let's call this to order. And the first person would be,
I sit in the hot seat right here, is that?
that sounds great.
New
hot seat.
So I'm representing, Farmer and the Bell, so we are applying for a permit, at 69 Pleasant Street. Tom List is here as the owner representative. We are the tenants and we're applying for two street signs, a freestanding sign that will be on the corner of Charles Street and Pleasant Street. And a building affixed sign, which will face, kind of the corner of, Pleasant Street, Route 4. So the freestanding sign is a, 6x6 post with a 6x6 horizontal that, to be honest, could be two different materials. We're getting quotes on a metal fabricator to do welded tube steel when it be painted, or we're also getting a quote to have it be wood and be painted. So, but the dimensions and the design would be the same for either material. Both have gooseneck or kind of straight neck lights to light up the signs. It fits the square footage requirements. So I think on the 4-foot diameter one, we have 12.5 square feet. And then the street sign is 20 square feet. The bottom heights on the street freestanding sign kind of fall within the regulations. 3/8 is the bottom, 7/8 is the top. And the material of the sign itself, I forget actually what it's called. CI Jimmy's just put up a sign, so if you remember, must have approved that in the last year or so. It's a kind of a composite rigid material that's doesn't have a frame on it, just kind of free hanging from both either affixed to the building or from the sign.
I have no objection.
Not that we are concerned with the color, but it'll be.
It'll probably be pink.
Yeah, I think that's really cool.
Pink's the thing with donuts.
Pink?
Pink.
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 Because the siding's
Black.
so
Yeah. Signing's kind of like a really dark green. It's black in certain lines, but yeah, we'll be
Oh,
We
Curious, what's symbolism of the fox?
we have two logos. We have a fox and we have a marigold, and our kids kind of identify. Our daughter's name is Marigold and our son is named Gray, but his middle name is Fox and he likes socks. So we designed our graphic design after our kids. So
It's Wednesday. Well, Ellen, we just sort of got the presentation, but it's not very complicated.
So this is the color.
Yeah.
It's two signs,
It's what?
two signs, Larry,
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's fine.
and the light fixtures.
Fine.
It's fine with the three of us.
I
Yeah.
believe we
Fine. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Then you got it.
Cool.
thank you.
When are you guys gonna
Thank you. Still to be determined, but fall, September, October, November.
Cool, good luck.
Pick window. Yeah, great. Thank you so much.
Hey, Gary, do you want
Is this
to?
real
Yeah.
hot seat?
It's a hot seat. All right, explain to us what you're doing on the Schuling Ranch.
Okay, can I just use
Sure.
this a little bit? So this is the back of the house. Oh, yeah, okay, this is the back of the house right here.
Do you want the
You have the
before?
before. So this is exactly the way the house is today. Can I just stand it? So these
We
three
need a
dormers
pointer.
right here, what we're planning on doing is taking the middle one out and putting basically like a shed type dormer between the two, but leaving the two dog houses on either end. And some people, I guess, have thought that we were doing something on the front of the house. This is all being done on the back of the house. It sadly is one of the only lots that goes all the way from Mountain to River Street. She has, whoops, excuse me, River Street. But, and then The other thing that we want to do is change these windows. We're changing these out. These are all windows that are very.
Which windows, please?
Sorry,
Which windows?
these windows right there.
All right,
And it's kind of like a sun, and we're just making them a little bit longer down, between 12 and 16 inches longer, because she has cats. And she wants the cats to be able to sit there and look out the windows.
of course.
So that's the primary purpose of changing them besides the energy efficiency. And this window here is being dropped down about 6 to 8 inches from where it is. So now you can put the other.
That would be actually the same,
Yes,
at the same level as.
yes, because, yeah, so it'll end up being like this, so all the way across.
Looks good.
And then these are down. And then the total of that is about 24 feet.
And I'll just read what Phil mentioned. He said, since it's on the rear of the house, his thoughts are more tempered. He'd ask that the sheathing or cladding, aside from the windows, be slate to match the existing or could it copper.
Yes.
Any discussion from anybody?
Well, I sort of agreed with Bill, but I think it's fine. Why are you doing that? Or why are you getting a larger one?
Because the upstairs is pretty small.
Uh-huh.
And she's gonna be using this, yeah. She's moved into it. It started out as her grandfather built the house, who was the physician for the Faulkners. And then her father was a physician and inherited the house. And then they recently passed a couple of years ago. Sally ended up with a house, and she said she wants a little bit, she wants to make make it her own, a little bit bigger upstairs.
Well, if we should vote on it, then
I've got no issue.
anybody,
I'm good.
it's all right.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah. Wait, but it's all right.
All right, all in favor?
I-
Aye. So go for it.
All right, thank you. Feeling badly, you were all here, it's so bad.
I'm gonna leave too.
Where?
The song maybe?
I'll talk to you later.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah, thank you.
great, thank you.
Is that it?
We have minutes to
Just a
approve.
minute.
Or the minute?
So this is not really even,
Mm-mm.
it's not even go ahead with it.
Did we ever, maybe you posted it, I didn't see it. What did development review say about this after we had our meeting?
I think they implemented the idea.
They what?
The people that were going to move in.
The pizza shop?
Yeah,
They're not
They're,
gonna do it?
they're still proceeding as far as I know.
So
The-
Tim told me yesterday that I was there at, no, Monday. I was over, it was a consultation meeting. They talked about, he said that they had abandoned it, so I'm really confused.
The VDRB did approve their permit. I'll send you guys the minutes. But they did approve it. And I haven't heard that they're abandoning the idea,
Okay.
but if you've heard that,
No, I'm sure you're up to date.
Huh.
I just wondered, how did they respond to our comments?
they discussed your comments and Stephanie and I were talking them through. They have shared similar concerns about trash and access. but because y'all were able to fix the issue with Idris Watson, the abutting neighbor, it was pretty straightforward once it got to them.
But they were talking in some of the notes I read that we had suggested another place for trash. But was that approved by the town to do that? Instead of having everybody have their own individual
Mhm.
trash, which was the objection that Idris had.
Yeah,
So I think now it's up to the business owners to get together and find a spot for communal trash. I don't know that, I really like the idea of having some sort of fair division moving forward for that
Yeah.
space. I don't know who's the catalyst for that, or if that's comes from the business owners. My last conversation with Eliza, who is the pizza shop owner, she was interested in figuring out a way to put it next to the visitor center. But I think not everyone was thrilled about that idea. But they didn't vote on anything about that part of it.
So we don't have to worry about the future of it. I mean, I think we had some good objections
Yeah,
to
well,
the rear of the, I mean, that rear of the building should look better.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think acknowledging that that rear is, you know, part of the whole landscape would really make a difference in the way we approach things in the future.
Could we add that we would like to be consulted on what the final decisions are, or? be
Yeah,
brought in
I
on?
think it would be better to have a conversation than just continue to not know what's
I
gonna
mean,
happen.
we're sort of just dropped into space.
so you're asking, could we,
Have either a joint meeting where we're up to, so we're brought up to date what the plans are. I think the garbage is a huge one. And I can see where they don't want to buy the visitor center. There was some, I think that the man should be coerced, the dress shop husband into using some of that space in the back, because there was plenty of room even for his parking. That was over on the far right. Or wasn't there sort of a peninsula before you go left to get out of the parking lot? And a spot down there? I mean,
we're around near the visitor center where we kind of thought about it.
you think that's where they meant for the visitor center? I mean, you wouldn't want trash in front of the visitor.
No, but like,
Off to the side with some sort of screen fence or something.
but I think the problem is that's not their purview is to establish a garbage place. I mean, I think somebody has to,
Yeah, they don't have
Well, that's what
the
you
authority to do that.
saying at the meeting, that we wanted, we felt the town, we needed to hear from the town on this.
Well, we did, one thing we did, you know, Phil and I talked about the need for some kind of education, about, with the town, I mean, having a conversation with the town that involved showing them why guidelines would really make a difference, so that people aren't sort of stuck with, well, I just want to do that, and then get invested in that. Instead of having a set of, you know, guidelines that show them what we were trying to, you know, envision. And I think that needs to be done as part of.
I can't believe that Idris just backed down.
What?
Yeah,
I
and
can't
and
believe,
he was at the meeting and he didn't have much to say.
Who did? Who was that?
Wow.
Idris, the abutter.
really? I'm surprised.
Yeah, it's
Um,
pretty adamant.
So I think that would be best voiced to the planning commission, because they're working on all the bylaw rewrites right now. And I know that's something that's been discussed, is having some sort of design review guidelines.
Yeah, and wasn't there an invitation? Didn't you all get an invitation to attend the planning commission meeting?
Yeah, but
So that we could talk about that?
The next one is on July 16th.
Right, right, yes.
and here,
Mhm.
I did read it, but I didn't.
The next
know.
planning meeting,
Yeah, but I mean, we were invited specifically, so
I
that
don't
we
think I
could.
saw that.
I got some email, I think Phil sent it.
oh, feel
I
free.
think Phil sent it as an invitation or
I
something.
didn't, I missed that completely.
The next ERP meeting is next Wednesday, the 9th, if you'd like to join.
And then, so for example, they were granted an easement for the propane tank. Who grants
The trustees.
the trustees? So
So
could the trustees be ones who would say, yes, you can use this area for trash for those buildings?
I mean, I don't understand why this isn't coordinated. I guess
I don't
makes
either.
sense that, you know, this decision gets over, it goes over here, and this decision, when it's all part of one,
Yeah.
it doesn't
Can
make
we
sense.
refuse? Can we, we're not having to vote, we already voted, didn't we? And at that meeting,
Yeah,
huh,
Well, I think if everybody shows up on the 16th, that would be a good time to,
and is that an evening meeting?
yeah, I think it's,
6
well, it's
o'clock
after.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, the 17th or
on the 16th, on a Wednesday. And I can send that to you in writing as well.
I think we need to be there.
Yeah.
I think we need to be there.
Yeah, I agree, totally. I think all of this needs to be brought up because it's crazy to have things, we don't know what the effect of our.
Well, there really is no point in this even meeting if we don't have some continuity to this.
And so on the 16th, do you want to be there to talk about design review guidelines? And then as a separate thing, you'd like to catch up with VDRB to get on the same page about a few things?
So are BDRB gonna be at the same meeting?
No, we could invite them, but we weren't planning on that. But their next meeting is the 9th.
Yeah.
How about the trustees? Are there at the 16th meeting?
No.
Ah.
I
So are,
invite everybody. We can start a party. I didn't know about this reunion.
I think we
Yeah.
should invite everybody, but we need to know if people are coming.
Yeah.
too
Can
many
you,
decision makers in some ways.
Yeah.
who are the
And some
trustees?
people don't know why we could have design guidelines and.
You know, and especially that space, because it's on the cusp of becoming a front door space as opposed to a back door space.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
it needs some real careful attention.
yeah, I agree.
Can you word it that could we invite them to come and we feel that it is an important meeting to attend for all of the trustees and the development review people?
So the BDRB are gonna be discussing that space on next Wednesday?
No, that was their last meeting.
Okay.
I wonder if Phil will be in town. He's good at this kind of thing.
And they're always hybrid as well, so he could make it on Zoom.
Zoom.
He was here on Monday.
He was here Monday?
It might be town. It seemed like it just got tied up with something.
A lot of driving back and forth. Yeah, 10 hours. Or
Well, he was
what?
originally planning.
What?
He was originally planning.
Yeah,
Approve
all right, well, what do we say? We approve the minutes
the minutes.
and,
We would like.
and somebody suggests that we be adjourned.
I'll suggest it.
All right. Second,
Second.
okay. That wasn't bad.
Hmm.